Real hot girl shit. And if the beat live, you know Lil Juke made it. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Body crazy curvy wavy big titties little waist. Body crazy curvy wavy big titties little waist. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Look at how I bodied that, ate it up and gave it back. Yeah, you look good, but they still wanna know we're making it. Saucy like a barbecue, but you won't get your baby back.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of the Pretty Plus Size and Powerful podcast. All month long, we have been talking to phenomenal women who are living lives and making history. All right. And if this is your first time joining us, where you been all month? We've been out here, but thank you for tuning in today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Aziza, aka Zebo, aka the Human Universe, aka your favorite fat girl. Whenever you see this live, make sure you share it, tag your friends in the comments. And if you have any comments or questions, you can leave them down below and we'll get to them if we have time. I have two phenomenal guests today. I'm excited. And I'll allow them to go ahead and introduce themselves.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Desiree Banks, and I reside in Las Vegas, Nevada for almost 6 years. But I moved here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I am currently an educator for the public school system. I'm also a grant writer, and I would call myself a serial entrepreneur as well.
All right.
Good morning. I am Alexis Stewart. I want to say hello to everybody who is watching, especially my pretty plus size and powerful women out there. Keep doing what you do. We love you. In my real life, I am an attorney for almost 15 years. I'm also a mom of two. I consider myself a serial entrepreneur, and that's just what we do. But I'm always looking for the next thing for us to get into.
All right. So what brings you two together? What are we here to learn about you all today? Serial entrepreneurs.
We have a checkered past. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
We have known each other for, I don't even want to say the number, but since I was 8 years old, we have known each other. We met each other on a hot summer night at a backyard barbecue. No, it wasn't barbecue. It sounds very steak. That's seriously how I met her. We grew up together on the block together. And she had invited me over one day to have Salisbury steak with her and her family in their backyard. And I was like, steak? Oh my goodness. Like, yes, I'm coming. And so I went, and we've been rocking together ever since, honestly.
I love it. So what are you two ladies doing now? What is 9 to 5? Let's talk about that.
Well, again, checkered past. Right. Overall, the 9 to 5 is many things, right? So the name 9 to 5, our company is 9 to 5 Solutions because we have 925 solutions for any problem that you're going to bring to us.
Oh my God.
If we don't know it, we have a woman in our network who does. And if she doesn't know it, she has a woman in her network who does. So that's what 9 to 5 Solutions is. We're on paper, we call ourselves business consultants because our focus is to help get businesses up and running. That's what we want to do, especially businesses from our community. We want to be able to, we have the know-how, we have the drive, and we want to make sure that our community continues to be successful. And so that's what 9 to 5 Solutions is overall. However, what we do right now is we own a trucking company, which is a whole nother.
I feel like I got to show y'all the back of the shirt right now. The truck on it.
Period.
There it is.
Back of the shirt. Could y'all see it? Oh, thanks, babe.
He just wanted to be on camera.
Right. Hey, y'all, this is pomegranate juice. Let me tell you, like freshly squeezed pomegranate juice is delicious.
Ooh.
Oh, we live in our best healthy life.
Right?
Right.
So, yeah, that what Lex said is accurate. That's exactly what 9 to 5 does. I think there's also a little play on words. We chose the words 9 to 5 because we do have all the solutions, but also because people work a normal 9 to 5, right? But we don't. We work 24/7. Like we work all the time. So a little bit of play on the words there too.
Okay. So let's talk about. I want to talk about something general first, because you all said you all are business consultants and, you know, helping to start businesses in our community. We are hearing about Black women being the, you know, the group that is starting new businesses at the highest rate, but also being some of the, I guess, still being undervalued, still, you know, being, you know, underpaid and still left out of a lot of different opportunities. What have you found while doing the work that you're doing that either corroborates or kind of goes up against that?
Well, I think what you said is absolutely true. Like you said, we are the highest group of educated women and we're opening the most businesses, but yet we're left out. We're not sitting at the table when we make decisions about where the funds are going and where the resources are being directed. So what we've done to try to combat that is get ourselves a seat at the table. We've gotten connected and, like Lex mentioned, created a network of women who have eyes and ears in those rooms, in those places. And that's what we continue to do. We want to just make those connections so that we can be considered when PPP funds are being passed out or when, you know, supplies are being passed out to our community, whatever the case may be. We want to be a part of that for sure.
Okay. So, so now I want to bring it back to 925 Solutions and the trucking, because, you know, traditionally when we think of trucking, it's white men and then just men, period. And, you know, I mean, even me as a little girl, you know, even as an adult, when I see a woman truck driver, I'm like, you better get that. So what made you all want to break into that industry?
Well, with the trucking, it was kind of it is something that we had passed back and forth for long before 9 to 5. We had always like, this trucking stuff, this trucking. So then we created 9 to 5, like, let's be business consultants. But then the trucking thing, no matter what direction we turned, it just kept coming back. And we're like, okay, you know what? One day we were like, let's just do it. We paid our little money. We got the authority active. We started with renting a box truck from Enterprise and was like, let's take this, let's go. And we started booking loads. We went into it because it is exactly what you said. There aren't many women. There sure aren't a lot of women of color, and it's even less Black women. So we wanted to create a Black woman owned, operated, ran, and drivers of trucks for Black women. I mean, we're not only Black women, but that is absolutely our focus, right? Like, we want to make sure that we are giving these opportunities to people who want them, but are often overlooked by other companies.
Yes. So with the business consulting and the trucking, do you all help? Like, is it something that you offer regularly where you're helping minorities and women to break into the trucking industry as well? Like, tell us first, how does that work? Like with being an independent trucking company, because I'm just thinking like, well, I know stuff like Snyder or whatever that is, or, you know, the big orange trucks, and then you know, so tell us about the trucking industry. I mean, you don't have to tell too much, because again, business consulting, go, you know, go to them and get the real education. But if you can give us just a little bit of it, and then how you all are facilitating others to get into that industry as well.
Well, I definitely feel like being in the trucking business, just being a Black woman in business, period, you have to be a hustler, a go-getter, a problem solver. These are like requirements of the job, because you just don't know what's going to come up. Like, seriously, every day in trucking, the things that we have done in trucking have made us stronger for life. That's for sure. So if a woman was interested in the trucking industry, she could come to us. She could tell us what part, because there's many parts to the trucking industry. So there's the driver, the person who's actually behind the seat, driving the load, to the drop off, to the pickup. There is the dispatching part. Those are the people who look for loads, who look for, loads that are going to pay you, pay the dispatcher, get everybody paid. They look for the money. And then there's what other part of the trucking industry? And then there's the
we have the broker.
Yeah, the broker. There we go.
The broker. So the broker is somebody who works for the shipper, and the shipper is another part. So the broker has a contract with the shipper, and the shipper says, I'll pay you this much money to get my shipment from New Jersey to Los Angeles. And then the broker reaches out to dispatchers and independent carriers or the trucking companies, and they say, hey, I have this much money. I need you to move this from X to Z, Y, or, so that's the broker. And then you have the shipper. The shipper is the person who owns the goods.
Okay. So that's the Targets, the Walmarts, for us, it's the slot machines, the gaming casinos out here. So, yeah. That's the shipper.
Okay, I'm interested. Like, I'm like, look, listen. Because, and this is what I realized, and now I don't know if you saw when I posted it, because when I drove to Atlanta to move here. Like, I had to pack up a U-Haul and drive. Yeah. Mind you, I don't want to be a driver. I will never do that again, and I wasn't that good. I used to be a school bus driver, and I was tearing stuff up. So I'm not giving no big bread. Okay, no, ma'am, I cannot do it. But I worked at a bus company for a long time, so I have I have dispatch experience, like literally over the road, like dealing with accidents and stuff like that.
Right.
But it ain't about me. I'm just saying. But like, just to even know the multiple parts of just logistics, and back to what I was saying before, moving down here, and driving across country, like, I really realized that America is set up for like logistics, like, because you'll have like a tiny little town in, hillbilly backwood nowhere, USA, and they have a highway, multiple gas stations, and some hotel, food restaurants and stuff like that. And it's like, what would anybody come here for? You have nothing to offer. But then I realized it's because, you got people driving, then even
the truckers. Yeah.
Like, I just discovered a Love's gas station, showers and everything. And I'm like,
yes, they have showers, and good showers too, girl. Good showers.
Right. I'm like, now I understand what America is.
Right. Right. This statistic is from 2019, but 90% of goods in America are moved by trucks. So we're moving most of our stuff by trucks, right? So that was another reason that really drew us to the transportation industry. We're like, oh my goodness, no matter what happens, we shut down again, another pandemic, we'll still be in business because America, this is what we run off of. We literally run off of this stuff. So, yeah.
So as somebody who's kind of like breaking in, I'm going to call you all trailblazers, even though, you might not be the first, but it's definitely still, paths to be created. Like, what are sorry, my mind just drew a blank. What are like some of the, like, as you look at your business and you're like, we are really doing this, like, have there been moments where it was just like, I'm extremely proud, or like, absolutely, what the heck did we do? Like, why are we here? Like,
both. We've had both of those moments. We've had both of those moments.
And those moments can happen within 30 seconds of each other, though.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we can wake up and be like, oh my gosh, we have a trucking company. Like, we got, at one point, we had 3 trucks on the road, and we was like, we're doing this. Like, we were doing our paperwork and our signatures. We was collecting money. I was like, yes, we're doing this. We have a trucking company. And then the truck broke down, and I was like, I quit. I ain't doing it no more. Nope. I'm done. Like, I'm telling you, it happened so fast.
That's exactly how it happens, right? It's like,
I was sending her a message, I quit. I'm done. I'm not doing this.
And then my response is always, look, I tell her, You can only quit on Tuesdays at 1:55 a.m. That's the only time 9 to 5 accepts resignation. But she's like, seriously, she's right. Like, those definitely have been the moments when it's like, oh my goodness. And then
Oh no.
you'll be so high, another problem will arise. But I feel like Lex, we're better problem solvers because of it. Like, we think
Absolutely.
through things better. We think through things that, not just in the trucking business, but in life in general. We think through things better in the business. So I do feel like we've gained that from it for sure. And that's a huge plus, a huge positive.
Yeah. So for someone who may be looking to just get into entrepreneurship, period, right? I think for us as Black women, entrepreneurship is a newer desire. It's something that we're kind of coming to a point to realize, like, no, we can really do this for real. Like, it doesn't just have to be just one. Like, Madam CJ Walkers don't have to be just a figure in the past, or I don't have to do this or that. It doesn't. So with more Black women wanting to step out into entrepreneurship, what are some things that you would tell them? What are some industries that you see that are still available for, or still open, and they can definitely go and kick down some doors and break some glass ceilings in? And then what would you say are some of the, so it's a multifold question. What would you say are some of the, like, first steps before they step out, or before they step into entrepreneurial path?
My suggestion would be, I know this sounds kind of, but my suggestion would be, you have to secure some type of consistent income. I feel like for me and Lex, we would have never been able to do this, go off on this venture, if me and her didn't first have consistent income, because you need the money stream. You need the money stream coming in so that you can pay your bills, so that you can have the space to think about what you want to do, what you want to get into, so you can have the space to study whatever it is. Like Lex said, we studied the trucking industry for 6 months before we hopped into it, but we were only able to do that because we were both working. And I know that's a struggle. It's hard to go work for somebody else all day and then come in and find the time or the energy to put in for yourself. But if you really want it, this is where the drive starts. This is where the hustle starts. You got to get ready to start balancing more than one task at a time.
I agree with that. I think too, it's okay to take your time and do it, right? Because when you look at entrepreneurship and you look at what it takes to start a business, it's overwhelming. It is a lot that you have to learn. It is a lot that you have to do. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of laws that you have to follow. So my first suggestion would be, just take a little bit. Start small. And if it takes you 3 years to get it up and running, then it just takes you 3 years, but you got there. Right? So start by filing the LLC. Start by making a decision. Do you want an LLC? Do you want a corporation? Do you want to be a sole proprietor? Start there. Do that. And then once that's done, if that was a lot, because for some people, that's a lot, and it's okay if it is, then after that, take the break. Take a couple of months. You got that first step, girl. Go. That's it. You did it. Let's go. Take a break with that. And then move on to the next one. What are we doing next? Okay, so you have this done. Let's get you your EIN. Let's get you your D&B number. Let's start building your business credit slowly. After you get that done, take another break, a couple of months if you have to. So my suggestion would just be, don't try to tackle everything at once. Take it slow. It's okay. And it's okay to take an alternative route. Like 9 to 5, like I said, we started off as business consultants. We were just trying to help other people get their businesses up and running. But this trucking thing just kept coming. And we're like, wait, let's take a step back and let's figure out what God is trying to tell us real quick. Let's listen, pay attention. And so we took that alternate route and got into trucking for a minute, and then it diverted us right back to our business consulting. So it's okay if your goal is to become a cosmetologist. If that's the goal, great. But if something else presents itself and it keeps showing up, maybe pay attention to that real quick. And then you can always come back to what you need.
I love that. I really like that.
Me too. That's a really good advice. That's really applicable to us, because lots of other things popped up on the way, and we didn't ignore them. But like you said, if it happened more than once, we paid closer attention to them. Sometimes it was to slow down. Sometimes it was to look into this, see how this could help you. That's really intuitive.
And that's one of the models we came up with 9 to 5. Actually, it's because because we're both serial entrepreneurs. We have these great ideas. We're like, oh, we can do this. Oh, we can do this. Oh, we can do this. And we just want to jump in and just do it. And like we had like at one point, we may have like 6 or 7, our hands like 6 or 7 businesses that we were trying to start. It's like, wait, back up. Nobody has that. It's too much.
Right.
But
we're
it's like
spreading ourselves too thin.
We need to go. We need to move. We need to, I think we discounted the fact that just because we're moving slower doesn't mean we're not moving.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that so we came up with this motto. Is like, what was it like? Our motto was like, we have to focus on the small. Like we have a big picture, but focus on the small to get to that big picture. We're not going to get to the big picture if that's all we're focused on, because we're missing these little things that's going to help us build.
Right. And I had to recently tell myself that I love that you say it, slow down, because one, we're in such a microwave society. Like we think, okay, I have to start a business and I should be a millionaire. And now if I'm not a millionaire in a month, then I'm failing, because that may have happened to somebody else that we looked up to. You know what I mean? And so like, even for myself, I'm just like, oh my God, like what am I doing? I'm gonna quit everything and go back to the job. But it's like, no. And then we, like you said, we become serial entrepreneurs because, we listen to different people and they like, well, you need 7 streams of income. And you like, well, okay, well, let me go start 7 different businesses. And then, you kind of just like stuck where you are.
Aziza, that's exactly what happened. We always talk about the 7 streams of income. So we always trying to have 7 different businesses. Like, okay. But what we learned is we learned about passive income. So that's income you don't have to work for to make. That's your stocks and your rent. And your, you just sit back and they just send you a check. So we learned about that. We learned that some of those 7 streams need to be passive. So you're not spreading yourself too thin.
Absolutely. And we also learned that 7 streams of income doesn't mean 7 separate businesses.
Or 7 jobs.
Right. We can in the trucking industry, that's what we're most familiar with at this point. We can get 7 streams of income from just 9 to 5 solutions in trucking. Like we can have dispatchers and brokers and shippers. Like all of these people have to pay to get stuff moved. So it doesn't mean start 7 businesses. And it doesn't mean have all 7 at once. Please don't try to do all 7 at once. The burnout is real.
Okay.
And I love that. And it really, in my mind, it just made me think of like someone who would do like retail or something. So they have a physical store, but if they do consignment as well, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
or
like
distribution.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so good. So good.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you about, because for me, right, I have older parents, so it was always more so of a, you work and you have a good job and you let that be satisfactory to you. But me being a millennial, I'm like, that ain't how life is supposed to. I hate it here. Like I don't want to come here every day, right? So now,
okay, Morgan.
Have you ever seen the Morgan clip, Ziza? Have you ever seen the Morgan clip? Oh gosh, when we get done with this podcast, I gotta send you the Morgan clip. It's we live by this. We live or die by this 9 to 5. Live or die by this clip. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
So what I found myself doing now is trying to piece together things that I'm passionate about and things that I feel are purposeful. So that's kind of what I do now. Like the podcast, I love being able to talk to different women, especially women that fall under the category, of pretty plus size and powerful. I love sharing a platform. Everything I'm doing right now is surrounding women and women empowerment and self-discovery and things like that. So I like to call myself a purposepreneur and a passionpreneur.
I like it too.
What are some of your passions that you have turned into streams of income, and then how did you get out of that maybe to start providing businesses or to start providing services that are more of a necessity, if that makes sense? I think because I guess right now I'm at a point where, okay, I'm doing what I love. Now I need to do what I got to do to get to the point that I really want to be at.
Right. Well, I think for me, like Des and I, we have similar passions, but they're aligned a little differently, right? So I would say for me, my passion has always, for both of us, let me say this, the passion has always been giving back to the community and helping the community and uplifting women, and specifically Black women, right? So that has kind of always been our passion collectively. The way I felt about doing that is when I first started my career as an attorney, I was a public defender. So I was in a courtroom handling that, trying to like make sure that our community was getting proper legal representation and making sure that they weren't being railroaded. And I think Desi's path was more along the education, right? So she was in the schools teaching at a young age, saying, hey, this is how we do this. You have to learn this, get your education so we don't end up in these different situations. So I believe that was the passion that we had. Like, it's always been to serve our community. I don't think we've gotten away from that. Even in the trucking industry and doing the trucking, our focus really is on the like hiring people and putting people in our company and then positions that are underrepresented, right? And so that's still what we have done. Like, our passion is still like, let's get our community up and running. Let's get a trucking company for us. Like there isn't one. And this is an industry it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. There is money out here in this industry and we don't know about it. And so we want to make sure that our community knows about it. And then I feel like it's with the business consulting, it's the same. Like, there's money out here for businesses and we want to be the link in between our community and this money to make sure that y'all out here get it. It's here. What do you need? Reach out to us. We will find it. If we can't find it, we know somebody who can find it. We will get it for you. Reach out. Let us know.
Desiree, you want to answer that question?
Well, I mean, she answered it well because that's true, right? I definitely both agree that our passion is for our community, specifically communities of color. I've taken education. I've been a teacher for the past 13 years. I taught in Milwaukee before I left, and I'm teaching here in Clark County. And the kids are similar. Well, really, as I'm talking, I'm like, right, the kids are similar. I need to change education. That's what I'm thinking in my head, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm like, right. I mean, and I feel like I do that every day because in my classroom, I teach them curriculum, but I also teach them things that I think that are important specifically to our community. Like when I have young Black male students, I want to teach you about your rights. I want to teach you about what to do when you encounter the police, things like that, right? So that's why I've taken a step further. I've also tutored students, which is taking my passion for education and, using it outside of the classroom setting. I teach chess. So I've taught that in our community, which chess for me is a metaphor for life. And I try to teach that too when I'm educating kids about chess. So yeah, really educating has this big theme in my life. I enjoy educating other people, specifically Black and brown people, about things that they don't know, which could be access to resources or access to information. Sometimes information can make you more powerful. But yeah, just being open to it and wanting to learn, wanting to do it. That's what I strive to ignite inside of people of color specifically.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So before we get out of here, let people know how they can get in contact with you all. Let them know, especially with the business consulting, or if they want to learn more about the trucking industry, how can they reach out to you all? Where can they find your business, and just whatever information that you want to give before we close out.
Okay, so there's a couple of things. So the easiest way is always email, right? So it's 9to5 Solutions. I believe Des just dropped it in the chat. It is spelled out NINETWOFIVE.solutions@gmail.com. And I want to make sure it's clear, like we have a trucking company that's up and running, but our business consulting services are across the board. So we currently have clients we have a catering company that we are helping to get off the ground. We have helped a home restoration company get off the ground. We have helped other truckers and trucking companies get up off the ground. So our business consulting is not specific to trucking.
Right.
Like, you come to us to tell us what you want. And like I said, we have a network of hundreds of women behind us who we are able to now connect you with, who are able to help you. We also have a new business package that we offer. And our new business package we will file your LLC, your S Corp, your corporation in your state of choice. We will get you your EIN, which is your business social security number. We will get your DNB number, which is your
credit.
basically it's your credit. It's your business credit.
Business credit.
And we will apply for all the basic certifications that you apply for. And basic certifications are like minority-owned business, women-owned business, emerging small business,
Veteran small business.
Because with every certification your business has, there's extra money that the government will just give you. So we'll apply for all of that for you as well. So normally our price is $2,500 to do all of that for you. But because we love our pretty plus size and powerful audience, 2 weeks we will be doing a special. So it'll be $1,500. So for $1,500, we'll do all of those and apply for all of those things for you.
Yes. Okay. That's what's up. Oh, I'm so excited. So y'all heard it. $1,000 off. Where you hear that at? Nowhere. Make sure y'all contact 9 to 5 Solutions. And if you don't remember any of that, y'all always know that y'all can come here to Pretty Plus Size and Powerful, and we will point you in the right direction. We got to get y'all over there because I know you don't want to work 9 to 5 for real. So
right,
you need to find a solution.
You better tell them, Ziza.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. Everybody who is tuned in or whenever you see this video, again, make sure you share it. Tag somebody in the comments. Tag your friend who been trying to start a business in the comments and let her know she can do it. And there are some phenomenal Black women who are willing to help her the entire way, plus get her the extra certifications that I didn't even know about.
I heard that.
Follow us on all of the things. Make sure you like the Pretty Plus Size and Powerful page. Join the Pretty Plus Size and Powerful group. Check out our website at www.prettypluspower.com. And also make sure you follow us on Instagram at Pretty Plus Power. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for continually listening. And thank you all for making us the #7 plus size podcast in the world. Hi, puppy.
Right. Say hi to Dutch, our new puppy.
All right. Thank you again, Alexis and Desiree. I appreciate you all so much. I learned a lot today. And yeah, I'm going to be hitting y'all up. Okay.
All right.
For sure.
Have a good week, Aziza. Have a nice week.
Have
You
a nice
too.
week, everybody.
Bye.